In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things I use to enable me to carry on maintaining my car. These are some of the products I use. Copper ease, or anti-seize it's normally called. I use that to put in bolts sometimes between wheels and the hub to keep it from seizing up, and also helps to keep rust out. This one I use is silver paint high resistance, heat resistance 650 centigrade in this particular one. I use this to use on exhaust and any kind of spot that has been, the paint's been flaked off to stop rust. Your normal WD-40 or penetrating oil just get rust off, say a nut or something. And this one I use quite a lot. Every time I jack up a car, on the seals of the car, I always use a pair of rubber gloves, throwaway rubber gloves, and I apply sealant on it. And I'll apply it, I've just applied recently sealant onto my fuel pipe on this particular Ford Mondeo. Okay, some of the other things I do, I should try and do really logical things. That wheel nut there is kind of rusted, and I've noticed it don't really go in as well, say one that is not rusted. What I'm trying to do is have a spare. I don't wait until it's really bad, so I can't fit this pair of so I can't remove it. Notice what I've done is I already used a grinder and I've grounded it down. Notice it's rusty there, so replace rusted out nuts. In this case, even the wheel nut. I bought these really cheap on eBay. Get to a problem, solve it before it's too late. If you can't take that off because it's rusted over winter, you can't fit this in, you're going to have a big problem in the summer. Okay, something else I would recommend on the Ford Mondeo, you see where that large Torx screws into the hub and it tightens your lower ball joint in. I would recommend changing that and keeping an eye on that. If that goes rusty, it's a hell of a job trying to get that thing off, and you really need to take that off quite often if you're doing self-maintenance. So I recommend keeping an eye on that, keeping an eye on the rust, and having a spare one ready to change. Buying from Ford dealers, have a spare one ready to change. I use silver paint exhaust. This is I inherited this as an old exhaust. When I get a new car, and I've done in the past, what I've done is used paint, and I've still got it after 6 years, still the old exhaust. It's kept it really rust free. This one I've had to weld as well, just right in this spot here. Also, after winter or after heavy snowfall and they've laid salt in the ground, I recommend using a low pressure jet wash, not the high pressure, to spray underneath. The low pressure, high pressure is okay for this sort of area, but low pressure definitely for the brakes area. You want to use high pressure jet from a commercial jet wash, spraying under your brakes, because it'll get into the pins where the floating pin mechanism is for your brake pad, and it could rust them out. Areas like this could do with a bit of penetrating oil, and I'm always trying to apply things at undersealed areas like this. Okay, you notice where I'll put underseal just here and here where I jack up the car. Plenty of underseal there, because if that goes, lots of problems in jacking up your car. They'll probably, on the MOT, will write it off if there's rust coming through here. Major support area. Alright, so there's some of the ideas I use just so I can maintain my car year on end without it rusting away or completely the bolts rusting off, so you can't actually even do any repairs on it. Alright, please like and subscribe.